Hello and welcome back. I'm Bebojo and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We are in British Siberia. We are out of winter. The second city is being constructed. There's a lot more utilities to work on. And our second construction zone is kind of getting ready, so we may as well make use of that and hopefully make a little bit of progress. Surprisingly, I let this run for a couple months and things are not terrible. Nothing is broken, nothing is bad. The only problem that we have is that we don't really have enough materials here to handle everything that we want, and I am semi-constructing a distribution office here to help with these two distribution offices that we already have, but as you would imagine, it's just not as fast as I would like it to do or to go, and we have a ton of construction actually going on, which is not really helpful. But the core of the city is kind of taken on shape. I do want the hospital done. And a couple, what else do we really need done? The pub does not need to get done. That's deconstructed. The monument is done now. Cool. And it's reaching a couple of the buildings. Great. One store is done, which honestly we could start bringing some stuff here just to keep things moving just a little bit. So yeah, let's get all of this kind of sorted out. And honestly, I think I'm okay with all of these being the same percentage because then we're not overloading anything. Food gets a little more of the lion's share, but 70-80 tons should be sufficient. And yeah, at some point we just have to get it from the same location. From right now, you would like some food. Okay, I think that's a good transition to actually start using this, because gravel-wise, we're actually getting pretty good gravel out of this. 1,100 tons. That's pretty neat. The only problem that we have is currently there are some vehicles here that we don't actually need for what we want to run. If you do run at multi-speed, be aware that you will run into a situation. It's really hard to tell which ones of these are the dumpers and which one of these are the open hulls for most of them, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. What I was saying is when you run multi-speed, you will have leftover stuff inside your vehicles every once in a while, so just be aware of that. That is a risk you're taking if you do play it that way. You also gravel. Then we have a couple cranes. That's fine. A couple excavators here, which I would actually prefer if all the excavators go where we have the dump trucks, so they can go here. That looks nice. And then I think with just dumpers and some cranes. Cool. I will move a couple of the cranes over here, and then we can disperse or get a couple more dump trucks. At least that is the feeling. And the feeling that I have is we have a construction office already out here that has a ton of dump trucks and covered holds. That looks good. Let's just get that one semi-emptied out because they're clearly not driving there, and we're actually about to turn on the next two things, which should include cement. How we're going to get cement moving? Great question. Cement was obviously something that I totally planned for and didn't just forget. Therefore, cement is going to go right in here. That was the plan all along. Don't you say something else, because totally this was supposed to be cement storage right here. So let's get that one organized. And honestly, if you just want to be on the opposite side of the gas station, I will understand, and then we'll just have to take that little shortcut right there. That sounds good. Okay. So we have a couple more trucks coming here. That's good. We have some fuel sitting there. This gas station is getting fuel, and these guys are kind of just doing what they're supposed to. We have a couple civilian buildings coming up right here. We're going to use them, but what is the next thing that we have to worry about in this city? Maybe you're curious. My workers with higher education is increasing, and oh, I did increase the number of workers, but I also added a couple more buses to bring more tourism in. Because it does make no money, it also doesn't make a load of money. It actually doubled in a couple months now, so they are doing decent amount here. I haven't looked at what it translates to. Why is my camera so foggy? I haven't looked at what it translates to like house them and give them food and alcohol, and then apparently they don't have meat here, which is just unfortunate because we do have a meat truck. I must have just forgot to move this one around, but there's the meat truck. I would like you to probably just go all over the place for a little while. I think I'm gonna try this. I don't know that's gonna work. No, wait, you're going to prison and then you'll wait until unloaded, which is not super helpful if you go to the hotel right after. then not wait until unloaded. So let's just do that. And it is going to the customs house. I don't love that. It's also not the end of the world. I do wonder if I can send it to the food store over here and it will just pick up some from the meat storage that's connected to it. I do know that was a thing at some point, and I would actually really like if that still worked. So let's see, load meat. You can only really load one thing. So let's just see what this guy's planning on doing, and then we can figure out if that actually worked or not. Small shopping center. Yes, what are you doing here? You're just taking a long scenic route. That's fine. The shopping center has a couple people waiting in front, so let's increase the size of that. And perfect. My shopping center is a loading station, so this guy does not have to go all the way to the border to get its stuff. It can just go right here, and we will just use that going forward. We have a little bit of fabric sitting here, which means this one is relatively empty, but we've been hovering around that that money for a little while, which is great. Cool. Let's do a couple other things. For example, this guy would like a little bit of bitumen coming in. No problem, because we have this fuel storage over here, and the trucks are getting overloaded, as it looks like right now. So maybe they have to be upgraded to a full-sized distribution office. That's not really a problem, and I think we can actually fit one right here, so we may as well get that started. Distribution office free. 5 trucks should be sufficient in most cases, so that's what I'm going to try to fit here. Is it going to bite me? Maybe. I am trying not to take up too much space out here, because that is supposed to be mostly for recycling. So I am trying to remember that is what I'm trying to do there, but you know me, I will probably forget anyways. And something is gonna go in the way there eventually. For right now, I don't know that I really need this connection where it was, so I'm just going to steal a little bit of space. We can argue that that may not be really worth it, but this should be fine. Pull you away a little bit from the road, and honestly, if I just flip you and rotate you, then that road connection out there is also going to do just fine. And once we're done with that, this distribution office can disappear. I don't see a reason why we need this to be graveled, so just a normal dirt road should do the job just fine. And construction office group 1 and 2, please get on that so it gets actually done and we can get a little bit of bitumen in. For right now, I do think our guys are probably... They are overloaded a little bit, but I think they are delivering to enough places where this can just work, although these trucks over here are also capable of doing a couple things. So I'm actually going to use you to drop off bitumen right there. That looks good, and I want you to pick it up from here. I'm going to pause, then I'm going to go bitumen so it doesn't try to get fuel from there, and that looks fine. And then let's talk to this guy. You have 2 distribution offices. I don't need the one that is all the way at the border, because that's just an extra trip that they don't have to take. And that looks good. Let's check really quick if there are any other distribution or any other distribution things out here that one delivers to, and it looks like the answer to that is no, which is a very good thing. Cool. This also is a distribution office that is in this area. I don't have a reason to not do this, so we're just going to do it. Dry bulk tank. We have a 3.5 ton and a 5 ton. Give me 2 of these, and we are going to add dry bulk to their stuff that they can deliver here. That's great. And then the only thing that we need for concrete to work, besides, you know, actual concrete trucks, is water. So let's get some water in there. What is your requirement for water? 85 cubic meters of water at full production, and we can get 85% of water from here. Okay, that really just translates to you can use whatever you want. If I can use an outlet out here, I actually wouldn't mind that, but let's see. Small water pumping station, no. Surface water intake looks good. 77%, it said 55 is what we need. This feels sufficient, and then all we have to do is get a quick little foot mud path out here. Yes, they do have to go across the railroad tracks for just a second, but I think they will be okay with that. And then, do you need power? If you do need power, then what I'm doing here is completely useless, and I do think, let's go check here. There's usually some indicator that it's requiring some power. It has maximum daily production, building lifespan, And I don't see a power anything. Consumption at maximum production is noted here on both of those, but the surface water intake is not, which also translates to, well, if you have a pump sucking on the surface water intake, then you don't need power there, you just need power on the pump that's connected to it, and that is fine with me, because we do have power right here for that. Let's see, where do I actually want this connection to happen? It doesn't actually make a difference or matter, so right here should be okay. Get the water in there, and then we have to check if any of the other places require water as an input. I think the answer to that is no, but I want to just be sure. No water here, no water on the asphalt plant. Yes, these two will work better if there's water delivered to them for the workers, but that's not what we're looking at. So all we have to do is put a quick small pipe, connects from there to there, and then from here all the way to the concrete plant, and then we're taken care of. It just has to be built. Nice and small pipe, so it's not going to take very long to actually get this done. All of those things are great for us. Let's assign a couple construction offices and then let them know that these are all high priority items that you should please get done at your earliest convenience, if you don't mind. Is this one high? No, it's medium. And it really isn't that expensive. It just needs like 300 work days, so that should actually get done relatively soon. Making this one high priority is going to be helpful to us, and we are getting some extra workers from right here, which is super helpful. Maybe. My camera is still super foggy. I don't know what's going on. I feel like something is really broken. You can tell me it's always been this way, but I'm not convinced that I've always been this foggy right there, but that's fine. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't make a difference right now. All we really care about is making some money. Cool. This looks fine. This looks fine. We lost a couple workers there. What is our education? 34%, so that is picking up quite nice. We got a little bit of extra people there. We got just about the right number of people. Let's make this 7 here, because now that we have covered most of the crime, and this one is overloading again, great. That we did cover most of the crime for a little while. We're back now to too much crime going on, and we'll just go back and forth on that until we have a ratio that kind of works for us. It'll be okay. Do you remember when we had 400,000 in the bank and now we don't? Yeah, I do. Let's see. What trucks did we get in here? Dump trucks? That's good. I wanted to make sure that we didn't get any of the covered hole trucks in this area. It looks like that all worked because the covered holes are sitting here. It's almost like they just picked the ones from the very top of the list of the group, and that's totally fine with me. This one is the one that has the concrete trucks available, and they're going to go down here once we have a little bit more stuff delivered. Okay. Distribution office, how are you doing? You're doing okay. Well, can't do much more than that. This list is too long, and there are too many high priority items. We're going to leave all of the, not replacement, but repair items what they are, and then check what we can do to make things move a little more smoothly. And I don't know where that guy's going. That just took a really long way around where it was supposed to go, but that's okay. Alright, so a lot of trucks doing a lot of trucky things. That seems fair. Our buses are always empty, so I'm going to relieve you just with an extra bus if you don't mind, because they're just always busy. I don't mind if they're doing a little bit better. We don't have any current trucks being repaired. That is good. But something that we may have to start looking at is automatic, not vehicle replacement, yes. But we have some 10-year-olds sitting here. What are we doing with you? You are 32% wear and tear. Honestly, not a problem. They're going to be fine for a little while longer. So if that is my oldest vehicle, then I expect all the other ones to kind of be very similar. So good. Cool. We don't have to do anything fancy. List of vehicles and buildings. If we look at those guys, they're all set to about 50% repair. And I'm okay with that because that should allow them not to break down right away. So that is all good. Fewer kilowatts, entire maps show all. Set value to selected vehicle. I think this is all fine. Show only vehicles in depot. They're also doing okay, and I'm a little available. Show wear and tear. This is what I wanted. Wear and tear, some percent. I forgot it apparently. Interesting. I I don't know that this one was a thing, but that's all fine. Yeah, wear and tear. The biggest one is this. There's a road crane. Where are you? You are down here and you're trying to repair something. I think that's all honorable, so I don't know that I need to change anything about this right now. We just need a couple more bricks. What will help is if I actually focus construction a little bit on some areas that really need it. So let's zoom out, talk to our construction office zones, and look at all the buildings that we don't want to get construction on. Can I leave this open? No, I can't. The hospital I want to keep. This one we probably can turn off because that's a residential building that we don't need right now. Here's some residential buildings that I do want to get built. And now they honestly should already have... That's not what I wanted. They already should honestly have... Wow, that's not English or anything. They should be fine, is what I'm trying to say. And hopefully have all the things that they need. Okay. Party member ranking. Railway distribution office is the next one on our list, although we don't have enough money or people to really research that. And I'm a little bit sad that we're already in 1940. It's been 10 years. We barely have 2,000 people. They're doing really well, but we haven't really had a chance to go very wide in this early start scenario. And you can blame going super speed every once in a while, totally. But it just would mean instead of 10 hours to get here, or 12 hours actually, because it's been that long. I don't know what... the camera really bugs me. Instead of 12 hours to get to this point, it would have taken like 20 hours or longer, but we won't be in the same point because there's not much more that we can really make happen here besides what already happened in the area. So I hope that all makes sense. Construction office, I want to talk to you and get this one built, hopefully relatively quickly. Is anyone heading here with some boards? It looks like there's a Russo bolt with nothing currently. Picking up some bricks, so no, there's nothing going out here because you're just being slow, which is okay. Maybe it is okay to get a couple more open haul trucks. How expensive are they? 5,000. We don't really have that much money, but I thought there was... Yeah, this one is a little bigger. Slow, but it's a little bigger on capacity. So how about we get 1, 2, 3 to get things moving a little better. I think I feel okay with that. I did add a second truck for this because this was actually very empty. But now that you are full, maybe it's okay to send you parking at one of these stations for a little while before, until we are actually empty there again, because if that transfer station is always full, the guys will not take trash from here to get rid of. So at some point we're gonna run into overflow of waste, and that is definitely not what we want to end up with. So this should be fine. Cool. Distribution office wise, yeah, let's build the rest of the infrastructure here that we still need. How about that? That's a great idea. I would say the first thing that I want to do is add a technical service office back in, and I honestly think down here is not a bad place for it, even with a distribution office sitting here to pick up the stuff that they want to do. Is there ever going to be a chance that they overload themselves? Yes. Yes, there is definitely going to be a chance that this road gets overloaded if the trucks come in from 2 different directions. So let's see if we can alleviate that a little bit. There's a little bit of room right here that may give us enough space for a technical service office, and I want to see if we can fit one in there. I do want the big one, so 13 vehicles is the way to go. I don't mind if you're kind of sitting right here, close to the road. That's fine. Because I mostly want you to be responsible for picking up and bringing things to the city and nothing else. So this should actually be pretty okay for our task. And now that guy is done, which is wonderful. Let's get some of our cement trucks moved over so we can actually utilize them. Are you going to fill the whole thing up? I mean, right now I don't know what else I need to do with them. We need some flatbed trucks over here, but that's a different problem for some other... No, not over there. Over here. More flatbed trucks, but it really doesn't matter until we have enough stuff stored here to actually make a difference there. So I think we're okay with all the things that we want here, and our gravel is actually overflowing, which is excellent. We got some bitumen, and we have this guy. The only thing that we don't have is sewage coverage, which makes me think this single sewage truck here is not sufficient to actually keep everything flowing. So I will give you another sewage cistern, 5, 5, 1.5, 2, 31, 42, 40 kilometer. I think this one of 40 kilometers is our best friend. So that's what we're going to add here, and that's hopefully going to do what we need them to accomplish. Wonderful. Money, money, money. Money's coming in. Even on our exports, that is good. And then I don't think the tourism money actually shown up in that same menu. Built the gravel road here. I'm okay with that. You already built this guy. That's great. Construction office, go. Keep going. You're doing a great job. Just do more. Okay. Let's talk to construction offices to see what you actually currently have planned. And there are not a lot of high, what are they? High priority items left over there. So that's actually good news. The pump is capable of pumping water at 77%. That is good news, which means this guy just needs a little bit more cement. And we're getting the cement from these guys, hopefully. You're actually not getting cement because I didn't tell the border that you can pick up cement from there. Now you can, and now you should be going. Great. So they can figure it out. These trucks obviously are doing what they're supposed to do, causing a traffic jam, that is, and going straight to the fuel station. But this should hopefully kind of be orderly, probably, potentially. So that should be okay. And then, yeah, whatever asphalt we have, we could start producing our own asphalt for the roads to get them upgraded, but I would like to wait until we have a paver or something similar to get those things organized. That'd be great. Well, now what? Well, let's see. What are we going to do next? I think utilities. Okay, and there's a really important one. The most important one that we have is always going to be heat. So let's get that one figured out. We already determined that the small heating plant is the bigger bang, the better bang for your buck. If we're going to build this, and I wouldn't mind putting a couple out here. There's a little bit rocky environment around us, but keeping them far away from all the buildings that we need to service is what we want, and still keeping them in walking range of a couple things is really what we're all about. And then, will this one be far enough, or do we just need another one out here somewhere? And again, same problem. I don't want to be below 250 meters, which this one kind of supplies. And this one probably has a better chance to be in walking range of all the guys that we have sitting down there. So let's see what we can do out of this. I don't mind having a little road going back here. Is there anything that we can see if I turn F2 on? Not really, but that's okay. Yeah, get right into that road. This will be our delivery route to the coal plant. On top of that, we will need a little bit of footpath alleviation so the people can get to the place that they need to work at. This one should be fine. It should give us a little bit of access. Not a lot, but a little bit of access, which may be sufficient. Let's get those two assigned and get them going. I think this one is the one that I would actually prefer in the current scenario, so that's where we're probably going to bring our people. Lots of bricks are needed. Okay. Lots of gravel. Well, the gravel is for the thing that I effectively just set up, so they can do that. We have everything that we need, just no drinking water, but I'm not worried about that one right now. So this all looks just kind of fine. And let's check this list again. It's a little longer than what it was, but that should be okay. All right. So we know our heating plant is going to go here. Great. Next thing to figure out is how big are the water tanks in these buildings? Are any of them done yet? No, and they're not going to be done for a little while. So let's just look at the residential buildings that we have picked to see what we get out of this. Was it one of these guys? No, it would have been one of these guys, right? 75 workers, probably. Does it tell me brick 29? Nope. It doesn't tell me the thing that we actually built. which is okay. We're going to figure it out. But I think it's oh, it's these. It's these ones up here. So 56, 50, and 50. Hot water tank is 3 cubic meters for all of them, which is great because that means this cluster over here is 12, 24, 48, and now we would go to 60 cubic meters out of 100, and that pretty much covers the residential area right here. So I think we have a pretty good chance of having 2 small heat exchangers in this area for the plant that we just placed, as long as we can fit them in, which is not guaranteed because I didn't really plan for that very well. So let's just see how this works. I don't want this too far away from anything residential wise, so let's see what we can do here. I think right here would actually be a really good place, but without destroying the footpath right here, it's not going to happen. I don't mind destroying the footpath because honestly it goes really, really fast, and gravel at this point is free, so we may as well tell them, hey, demolition office, please come out here and take care of this. That would be super, because then we can put one heating plant or one heat exchanger right there. The other heat exchanger may be okay to be placed here. Don't hate it, and this one we may be able to start building right away. But the other one right there feels good. And then we have 2 more that we have to place. Probably one down here in general. And we may be able to actually squeeze one in right here. It's nice and close to most of the residential building. Yeah, that works. Because that one will get its heat from the plant that's up here, but we're not going to turn that on for a while. This one's the one that we're actually going to focus on for right now. And that makes me a little excited because that should cover most of these buildings. That should be great. In terms of demolition, that is 2 trucks, sadly. Also, there's way too many workers that got delivered to this thing. But what are you going to do? We have cement now. Great. And we have bitumen. So we have our own asphalt and our own concrete. That's wonderful. We're still making okay money. And this one, where is it? This one just got done. Great. So let's build the thing that we actually wanted to build here. Get rid of you. Get our heat exchanger, small heat exchanger, just somewhere over here. My hope is that the piping will actually like what I'm doing. We're going to put it all the way out there. Just turn it around, get the footpath on this side. I don't think the building next door will mind having a heat exchanger effectively looking into their windows. They will be fine. Trust me. I asked them. Okay. If you think they're fine, let's build our heat pipes. F3 to see underground. And come all the way out here. You will be the first one. That is 400 meters. I don't think that's going to cause any real issues. And the second one is going to be 403 meters. Should also not cause any issues. And now we should have this whole side heated up well enough with what we have out here. Plus, this guy is in range of most of them. So they should all get some heat from that single heating plant, I hope. All right, number 1, done. Heat. This is going to come later. Concentrate all your work on the stuff out here. Very important. Get that assigned, and tell them that this gravel path is ready to be worked on. Good. So far, so good. Checking all our numbers. Looking what we have in here. Fabric is in equilibrium now because we really don't have any extra workers to gain. And that is fine. Construction office. Anything else that I need to tell you in terms of priorities and unpriorities? Honestly, if you want to finish that hospital, that's not a bad idea. Get a couple of these brick buildings done. Also not a bad idea. What is the thing that you miss, that you need most? Bricks. Okay. How are we doing with that? We have probably most of our, open haul trucks are currently being used. So let's get a couple more out. That was the yak that had this capacity, just maxing that one out. And we have this. How fast do you want to go? I think I'm going to go with 1, 2 more. Bricks are so cheap, but I can't really get them myself until I do coal research because I have no idea where coal is on this map and I don't want to cheat. Okay. Do you want to start feeding this one? Well, I can't until I have the distribution office ready. Okay, where's the distribution office gonna go? Probably, honestly, down here? Is that going to be fine? It's not the worst place in the world for a distribution office. Not great. We can't use this one anymore because you're already utilized for a bunch of things. But what do we really need? We need this one to fill up with food first, then clothes, and then we need some meat over here. So we need at least 4 trucks for this one. And pro tip, do not overload your distribution office that's responsible for your city stuff. So I think it's a wise decision not to go wild on this distribution office. So plopping it right here feels appropriate because then you're close to at least where you have to go. You're driving a little further than I would like you to drive, especially source-wise, but I think we'll be okay with that for a little while. Okay. Waste or power or water next. We already have water. They got that one done while you weren't looking. So that is good. So we may as well continue this with some sewage and water connections. Let's get started with this. We do need sewage at the... Oh, I wanted to look at something. So there's a sewage tank right here. You're running 20-some cubic meters a day. Your health is 73%. It is not unlikely that the pollution from this sewage discharge is actually spreading on the land. I can't tell that from here. I don't have any tools to make that visible, and I do think the research is in a technical university, so I can't even attempt to make that a thing, but it is there, so keep that in mind. I want to make this a gravel road now because we have our own gravel, so we may as well get that one tackled. I know it's a distraction, but do this now so we don't have to do it later. And we do have the gravel available, so we may as well get that done right now. Great. Earthquake in the new city. Yes, I did tell Peter and the gang that the current... I guess they are in range, but I don't know that we can actually handle this. I did tell Peter something has to happen about the earthquakes. I know that I'm not the only one that yells about it, but maybe I'm the loudest. So I hope something's going to happen from there. Also, 4.8 earthquake should probably not get wear and tear up as high as it did. Wear and tear is accelerated when you're on fire, in case you didn't know that. Are those my fire trucks? Nope. 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 Oh, fire trucks are really far away. I am not... Heating problem? What are you talking about? I am not... Yeah, that's fine. You don't need heat. Why is there staff here? How did anyone get to move into this area? Oh, is someone actually living in here? That's stupid. Also, our fire trucks have not arrived. I don't even know where they are. But that's perfect. There are the fire trucks. I see one of them. Sits right here. That's perfect because now we have to demolish this thing, which is going to take forever. 53 tons of mixed waste. Honestly, it's not that bad. But this is just a little annoying overall. I need to see the city name of this thing, because I would like to turn off allowing citizens to move in here because we're not quite ready for anything yet. Where is the city name? You can't see it in the winter because it's white text on white background, so that's perfect. But I think there's a way to turn on city names right here. And then... so this one? Yeah, maybe. It covers part of the residential buildings, at least out here, so that's good. Then I think the other one, maybe just a chemical plant. Is this chemical? Chemical future plant. Yes. Okay, talk to this. Actually, no, don't talk to either of those. I'm going to make my own city name. And then we don't have to worry about that anymore. Birkenhead. Sure. Nobody move in, please. Thank you. Huh, that wasn't difficult at all. Okay, so you are figuring out what you need to do. I don't want the one person here, but I think it's okay that they're there for the minute. Power supply and sewage, that's what you were working on. Okay, yeah, I was. Let's get them moving. Sewage, where are you? Down here. Okay, sewage tank. This one has to cover quite a bit, and I think maybe if I put it more on this side of... Maybe out here. Maybe this is far enough away. Maybe a little harder to get down there, but it should be okay for what we need to do here. So, make sure that you're covering most of the city, including the heating plant, and that looks good. The thing that I'm not actually covering is the buildings down south. I don't love that, so I'm actually going to put one here. One probably here. And we're not covering 100% of everything, but we're pretty close to it. And then one here, and I think now we have everything under control. Great. Water substation, really, you're kind of aiming for connecting them to the exact same nodes, because that should give you enough security or safety to know, yes, I got them covered. So this should be fine, this should be fine. Left click, can't really see that much more, but this is okay. Footpath connection, cool. Get all of those organized, because they're not hard to build, they just need to be built. That goes, that goes. You don't look like you have a footpath connection. That's unfortunate. Now you do. Okay, construction office 1. Help with that, with construction office 3, and then we have these guys out here. Beautiful. They can get those done. Great. Sewage pipes. Yep. On it. You saw how little of sewage waste we're actually producing out on the other cities, so this one should be relatively light in how much we could produce out here. Let's just see if we can get up this hill. F2 to see a little bit more. Nope, that's a very steep hill here. Okay. There's a trick. There's a simple-ish trick. You can't get down right away. Take shorter bites. Shorter bites generally turn green more, and eventually gonna make it all the way down the hill. If the game lets you, sometimes it's a little more finicky than other times. And every once in a while you just have to use a longer piece of path, and then you're also gonna get down there. Now we are on the opposite side of the output, which is not what I wanted, so we're just gonna go right there. More dirt path. I'm just going to do this, make this a gravel path so the trucks that you need to come out here can drive a little faster. Yes, I think I'm going to do that. There's a conveyor belt thing that needs to happen out there. Use this node. Okay. There's a conveyor belt thing that may have to happen out here. No, actually, well, we don't need it out here because we're really close to the border. I think the further we are away, we need some way of actually getting some aggregate stuff in, like coal. So it's not going to go away, but it's definitely not a necessity right now, but it probably will be in just a little bit. Okay, gravel all of this. Yep, assign that. Construction office 3, this is your friend. Please and thank you. Just get all the things done I need you to get done, and then we will be good friends. Great, so looks like you're done with this. Cool. Sewage. Not done with sewage yet. We still have to connect everything. Let's see what we can do here. Same trick as before. Make sure that you actually flown downhill. There's one at 11.3 meters. There's one at 11.3, and there's one at 15. So this is the high one. I was told in a comment that at even height they also flow down, but we don't even have even height here. So we need 11. Is 11 the highest one? Yeah, 11. So I would like a little hole that goes down to 10, and then we should be able to make it work. Okay. Excavator, if we have one available. Right here would be great. We don't have an excavator available right now. Still don't have an excavator available right now, and we still don't have one, so that's unfortunate. But also not surprising because we do have quite a bit of construction going on here. And will do for a little while. So that's all fine. We bought a lot of vehicles last month. That's why most of our money went away. That's okay. Our fabric is actually sitting at a good number. That's why I want to see it. I just would like to have a little more going on. This is now less tourists than I was hoping for. Maybe that has to do with winter being here. They may not like being cold or something stupid like that. But not much we can do about that today. This list is going way too long, so let's increase this to a ridiculously large number. This list is reasonable, and this list is getting too long. Okay, 12 people for 20 is approximately right. Let's make it 15 there. Let's make it 15 here. Maybe we can take care of things. There's so much crime going on in this tiny republic. That's another thing. It's not supposed to really max out for quite some time, but as we can see, it actually is maxing out right now, and I don't know. That could be overhauled a little bit. Okay, sewage switch still. get your lower terrain in. We can't do it, and that is maybe okay. Should we just watch them try to build a couple things for a little while, or no? That's a terrible idea because I'm not convinced that I have good priorities for them to actually do the things that they need to get done. Couple brick houses, sure, get those focused on. And then there's a pipeline over here that you want to do something with. Is that pipeline down here? I don't need that pipeline to be touched. So it's not that one. A couple more residential buildings are done. What do we really need? We need sewage still done. We can't invite anyone in the winter without having some coal here, so that has to be organized. And they have to drop off somewhere. And yeah, it probably... It's almost necessary to have a coal storage unit somewhere in this area, probably close by to where the city starts. We still have to do our waste. Okay, waste stuff should be relatively easy. I do want a distribution office, or semi-large, because we need to be able to actually take care of the waste that will be produced here. Too close to the construction building back there. That's cute. How about you go here? If you go here, maybe it's a little better, but we don't have power connections here yet. But the city still needs power, so that shouldn't be a problem. Let's do this. If the distribution office goes here, and then they turn right to get out and left to get in, then we give them a road cargo station for unloading. Should you unload into the cargo station or load into the cargo station? That is an excellent question. If you put it here, they're going to cross. So actually take this one away and do the road cargo station setup first. If you T to flip, put you somewhere right here, trucks will now come out, get to the road cargo station and load up with whatever they want. On the opposite side of that, we can put our waste transfer station, which the technical service office should have full access to. They can get in here, that's fine, and then truck with the technical service office will just go in, sorry, with the technical service office can drop off into the unloading station, and the distribution truck can pick up from here. Would it be better the opposite direction? Should you drop off into the cargo station and then drop off or take it from the other station? Honestly, I think that is better because we have more technical service vehicles that will probably drive here, so that's what we're going to do. Get rid of those two, get rid of this one, and then we're just going to flip them around. And I think that is logical enough because the technical service office may bring a couple small trucks to drop off whatever they need to drop off, and then the distribution office will combine that into a single truck situation, and life should be okay. Want to go right here? That's fine. Technical service office will just go there, and everything will be good. Cool, that's taken care of. This is the distribution office for food delivery. We should probably make that a higher priority, and then technical service office over here is not a high priority. That is fine. We did just have a couple excavators available for terraforming where we were with those technical service trucks, but there we got one. The only problem is I don't know how deep we are, and all I want to do is get close to 11 meters. Which we clearly haven't reached that threshold yet, but let's keep going a little bit. And I hope we can actually get down there because this is a pretty rocky area, which is super exciting. There we go, 11, 12. We gotta get at least into the 11s, otherwise it's just not gonna work. 11, 2, and that should be enough. Okay, sewage pipe. Yes, please. Sewage switch, absolutely, 10 meters down. Sounds great. Point at where we're actually going to have the sewage connection running later. Get a footpath up here and then run the pipes. I will run medium pipes for connections. You don't need medium pipes. Small pipes are probably enough because this city is not going to be that much bigger for the sewage pipes that you're going to connect to. So that should be okay. Small pipe there. Small pipe. Excuse me. Small pipe here. And another small pipe here should take care of all that, and then we can just use a large pipe because 36 plus 36 plus 36, let's say 40, is about 120, which this one can't handle, but this one could. So that's where we're going to go. Tunnel above terrain at some stage. Don't be above the terrain at some stage. Oh, that's the terrain that you are above at some stage. Got it. Cool. We'll just take a little shortcut there, and then they're happy. Great. Sewage, completed. Water. Water is easier because we already have a water tower that has all the pressure, so all we really need is distribute that water somewhere. And we have a relatively easy setup here because this one will get us the 3 connections that we want. We only have, let's do this, we need a large pipe going in there, and we only have small sewage pipes coming out. That means we really only need small water pipes going in, and that should take care of everything that we care about. That one, that one, that one, and this one just a little smaller. Cool. Got that done, which should require a lot of concrete, which is exciting because we are now producing that ourselves. So let's get them on this, on this, on this, and on this, and the other construction group can also start working on these things if they feel like it. Okay, what else is there to do? Well, you talked about a distribution office for coal, which we currently don't have, and we don't have a good way to bring coal into this area. I don't think it's a terrible idea to have coal maybe out here. You could even have a rail connection connecting that into something, but we really don't need that much coal. We just need enough coal throughout the year, and then in the winter we just want to collect it from this area. So let's see if we can put an aggregate here. Now it's a little stupid to put an aggregate there first, deliver to it, and then pull from this aggregate to deliver coal to this guy, which is actually the only one that's hooked up right now, because the other one is not going to get hooked up for a little while. No, I don't actually want to build you. Go away, construction office. Don't do things that I didn't explicitly ask you to do first, please and thank you. So where are we going to put our coal storage? Out here, it's like kind of the same logic. The only difference is that this is a little further away, but is it a lot further away or a little further away? Good question. If we put it here, though, we can use it as a in-between storage where we could run another road connection out here and have whatever we want to connect out there. Plus, we can have another road connection over on this side of the matter. I don't hate that. I don't hate any of those things. I do hate that we're running low on money, which is not super helpful. We're going to just get more steel moving that we didn't have before. Okay. Fabric, that is all fine. These guys are continuously bringing in money, so I don't think they are the problem. What do we have for? The cinema is empty. That's good. The indoor pool is capable of allowing a couple more people, so let's make that happen. This list is getting shorter. That's good, but we're still not doing great on the examined cases. This list is getting way too long. That's not helpful, so we need a couple more workers in there. Great. We had 40% higher educated, so we can actually reduce this by a little bit and see what happens at the end of that. But 15,000? Okay. We are getting to the point where we have to worry about, do we need to take a loan? I'm not opposed to a loan because we can actually afford a 5-year loan relatively easy. If we look at last year, we made 249,000, and most of this is in steel, and we're almost done constructing things, at least for the time being. It would be nice if I can turn on this city. Okay, before you can turn on the city, you need some power. Power costs electrical components, but that may be a worthwhile investment, so we may as well make that happen. We could try to go underground right here. I don't think I love that, but it is an option that we could trigger. We're just going to have to see how all of that plays out. Electric substation out here covers most of those buildings. Great. Covers also the heating plant. That's very important. This one should be able to cover the heating plant that we have out on that side. Let's see if we can get a little extra space somewhere in here, but there's not a good room to actually place this guy. So yeah, it's not going to go there. It's actually going to go out here. There was a little bit of green. I saw it. There. Okay, that's tweaked in here. And then the last one will just be accumulation of what we can fit down here. And if you want to be in this little open spot, I don't completely hate that, so this is fine. 3 power stations. Gosh, 12,000. We're down to almost no money. Perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. But here you go. Got to do what you got to do. Construction-wise, okay. let's narrow down the things that I actually want you to construct. Because there's, as you may see, a lot, and we do need sewage done. Without sewage, we can't really do anything. Without sewage, we could use sewage trucks to move all the things to the sewage tanks, and that is not a terrible place to be, but then we have to pay for very inefficient trucks to get their stuff done, and I don't really love that idea either. So I am tempted to just let us take a small business loan, duration max, amount 80,000 should probably get us something for the near future, and we only pay a little bit per day and 1,000 per month. We can totally afford that, and it should give us access to the next city, which is really what we're looking for here. So yeah, I'm okay with that. First loan, let's get these priorities up. I know that there's a ton of things on the priority list there, but eventually we're going to get done with them, and that is really what I'm looking for right now. You still don't have power. Okay. We need 3 lines going here. We already have this one kind of completed, so I think there is a non-zero chance that the 3 lines we get from here plus 1 more power line here is actually sufficient for this area in general. So that's exciting. Can I have you come out here? Actually, stop. Do not go into this space. Is there anything that you can actually use that space for? Because the dry bulk unloaders are so humongous. Dry bulk loading, unloading. This one, can you actually fit in there if I really tried? Yes. Yes, you could fit that one in there. We're not going to build it. No. There's absolutely no reason to build this right now, but before I forget again, I just wanted to make sure that we have a chance to get something in there. Luckily, the concrete plant does have 2 parking spots. That's very helpful. And these guys are currently being a little lazy. If you want to get it at least 60% done, I wouldn't mind that. And now, okay, back to power. Go down here, next to that plant. That's fine. You can go to the front. You can go across the road here. Follow the road network that we have. And then where do you want to take that one? Honestly, I hope that this is my first power connection that I can get out here. We're going to go a little further, almost like 1 whole pylon out that way. That feels good. Then 1 full pylon out this way. Instead of taking that turn, we're just going to go straight across, and that should get us all the connections that we need with an extra pylon right there. That feels good, and it's not really that much forced. So continue. We are making money right now, which means we just dropped the train off, which is great. Okay, power. Relatively important, getting it done. Let's look. We have some power substations in the current city, of course. Do we want to turn this off for some happiness? Reducer, but money saver? I don't think... How much that we spent on booze so far? I wouldn't be surprised if the answer is almost nothing. So import of resources... Booze is 71,000. No, you know what? That's not a huge enough deal. But chemicals we are importing a lot because we're needing them for this guy, and it's producing okay. It would be nice if it produced a little more than that, but I think we'll be okay. What was I doing? What are you doing? Water pumping station. What is your problem? You need bricks. I need you to be high priority. I think there's a... Oh. This is the new water pumping station, not the old one. I was like, wait, did it break? Uh-oh, that's no good. But no, it did not. So that is fine. Remember, do not buy snowplows. That's like 20,000 that is sitting there in ruble that we didn't have to spend in the first place, but we did. So here we are. But that is fine. The workers that we had there are doing something. The tourists are doing what they're supposed to do. Can we get some more tourists in? There are 42 tourists sitting there, and there are 40 tourists sitting here. So yes, we could add another bus, potentially. No, you're not dropping off tourists because we don't have room for more tourists. So let's max this out so we actually get as many tourists in as we can, because they do pay us some money. 7,000, and overall we're now at 100,000, which is less than I expected. Because we were at like 89,000 earlier, but I don't actually remember when exactly I looked, so maybe it is better than I think it is. Gravel, you're doing good. That's doing good too. Build the road before you build this pylon. Good idea. I love it when you think before you do something. Cancel wires, not that one. Cancel this wire. Thank you. Get the road just relatively straight out here. We don't have to go super far. We just have to make sure that the pylons are not completely silly. And the way that they're set up right now, they're actually probably going to be too low for what I want to do. So let's redo them a little bit. Get them kind of in the middle there, kind of on the other side of the road, cross the road, and then by the rail, and then right there. That's better. Cool. I'm glad I saw that, because that could have been bad. Construction Office 3, this is a job that you can easily do. This one, I do not need anyone to work on that pumping station. Thank you very much. Cool. This road to nowhere, what are you going to do with that? I think there's a non-zero chance that we're going to connect that one to this road at some point. I don't know that it has to happen, but it's a possibility. A non-zero possibility, as they say. So we'll see what happens there. And is that it? Is that all we can do today? I think so. At this point, we really just have to wait until this city is usable. When is it going to be usable? We have a distribution office here. Great. We need a couple covered holds. Do I have any covered holds available? Yes, one there and one here. Nope, that's the wrong button. Let's get them moved to the place that will need them. That's exciting. And then, are you a trash one? You are mixed waste and you are mixed waste. That is actually great, because they have to go to the new technical service office right here, which is excellent. The snowplows, we don't care about. We already talked about how useless they kind of are, so they can stay wherever they are. And let's look in another depot and see what we have here. That is dump truck, dump truck, dump truck. We can use these for the distribution office that will be responsible for them over here, that will be responsible for bringing coal in, and that has to happen relatively soon. Also, the fuel distribution office is ready, so you can go here, you can copy all your stuff there, and then this one can be empty, and we don't need this distribution office anymore. Wonderful. What do we have here? Trash. Trash. You're full, so we don't actually need someone there. And this is open hull and open hull. Open hulls are actually interesting for what I want. But for right now, let's just get the waste trucks out here. And I do know that we need a couple more small waste trucks, but that should be okay. Are you able? Yes, there's room there. And then one more room here. We have a couple rooms for the open hulls, which is exciting. Surprised that this guy's not done yet. You just need a couple more bricks. We do have bricks sitting here, but apparently they're just not high enough priority for anything to happen, so that's unfortunate. Fuel is important, so let's get another oil tank in the mix. 6 tons versus 4 tons. It's this one. And keep on keeping on. Don't actually want that one, but where are you? Where are you bringing something to? You are driving very slow. No, you're holding up buses behind you. That's better than driving slow, but I think our road network is already helping us, because a bunch of things do actually get done, which I wasn't sure that actually is going to happen. And I'm surprised that the underground heating pipes are completed at this stage. And it looks like we have one of the heat exchangers already done as well. That's pretty cool. Make that road path a little higher priority. Same as this and same as this. And well, keep them moving. Where are you getting your stuff from? Oh, that's stupid. That's why we have a bunch of stuff sitting over here. Get whatever you want from there. And get whatever else you need from the customs house for now, because we really don't have anyone assigned to bring the other things to us just yet. And then don't worry, the buses over here are assigned to the same construction offices that are out here. Construction office group 3, we do have to assign this one as well as this one. So they know what they're actually supposed to do. Great. What else? Construction Office 3. It feels like you already want to work on this, so you may as well get that one assigned to you. And luckily, I don't see that many buildings, like as part of the construction group over here. So I think we have a chance of actually getting close to get a couple things here done. It looks like the water pipe is already completed. and a lot of the other things that we would care about, so that's good. The hospital is here, but it currently does not have a special waste separation, and I think we are missing a bunch of waste separators in several areas, so let's see if we can get just get that one in here. If you go there, get a road connection here, then you should actually be able to walk to the hospital. Perfect. That's what I wanted to see. You can not walk to that many other buildings, but these two are not taken care of. We know that the residential buildings are generally taken care of by all of this, so that's all great. These guys, no, this one doesn't produce that much waste, but if we can get you a large container for storage, that should help us. But honestly, as I said in the tutorial that I made a little while ago, the small garbage containers are not all that useless, so we may as well keep that one going and plop a couple of those in here too, especially once we get smaller garbage trucks or more of them in the area and get them available. I think that will be good. This is a warehouse, not actually anything that really cares about what you put in front of it, so try to remember that, please and thank you. You are okay being a storage right in front of here. I like that, but then I do need this road connection. Otherwise, this is kind of useless. Okay, F4 to turn off snapping, just in case to see that works. And that did work, so that's exciting. Cool, a couple of them are done. What is this? This is an electric substation that currently doesn't have any power because we really stopped after the first power connection, which is a little silly. So let's get the rest of them done. You will just run right by the road. Hopefully can get past all the buildings that matter, and we're going to put you close to where footpath crossings are. That looks great. Right here, and then no, I don't really want you to go through the roundabout there, but maybe we don't have a better option. We do have a better option. Go this way. If you can go behind the technical service office here, just straight across. Obviously not this little bit. Then through the back of this technical service office. Right there. Okay, doesn't want to quite play along, but we can make this work, because now all we have to do is get rid of this one, get you through here. It's like a little alleyway where a lot of the utilities are going to be housed, and put one, yep, right in the middle, and there, that's good. And the next one will really get the same path, so it's just double up these pylons, and everyone should be pretty happy. We're down to 55,000. Yes, we are not producing more with anything. But once at least the city itself is running and we have some vehicles on the inside that can get us the stores and stuff at least set up and going, I think there's a pretty decent chance that we can get all the things that we need. For right now, let's do this. I would like a refrigerator truck. Nothing and 2.5 tons. Yes. One is probably not going to be enough, so 2 is what we're going to want here. I also don't, well, I may just use the meat truck trick that we had earlier to deliver this one a little more efficiently, although we don't have any food yet, we don't have any power yet, so there's no real sense in delivering any of the materials yet, because it will just waste. So that's all good. This one has to be done relatively soon, but they are doing work. I mean, they're clearly getting a couple things done here and there. We have this set to all low priority, which is not super helpful, but there are things that are actually getting cut off the list. So I think what I'm going to do is this. We're going to sit here for a little while and let the construction officers do the construction. You can speed this up a little more by going super micro on all the things if you really feel like it. But that's not quite how I do things. Also, it looks like this sports hall over here is going to be important for sports, so I want to assign it to someone. But yeah, you can micro all of this a little more if you wanted to, and construction may get done a little faster, especially if you have cranes sitting in certain situations like this one. But I do think that we're probably going to get most of this done relatively quickly. So let's just wait and see what we get out of all of these pieces. If you don't mind increasing your range, I think that will be a good thing. Because there are a lot of places here that want a little bit of the material that we have available. Great. Why is our happiness 65%? That's an excellent question that I would like to go investigate before I let you go. Education is fine. I wouldn't be surprised if crime has something to do with that. This crime looks okay right now. Set this to 12 workers. Okay, just saving a little bit there. 13 and 24, that number seems okay, and this one seems to at least catch up with things that they need. Nothing really to complain there. We're 14 years away from electronics. That's a little scary, but we're just gonna have to see how all that plays out. I don't see a real use in saving 6 people and getting a happiness penalty because we don't have stuff in the shops. So I'm just gonna increase the worker numbers on those and let that happen. We could start bringing in some materials, which right now is there's food here already. I want to get food from there. I would like to get clothes from here. Nope, not from there. I would like to get clothes from here because there's never going to be a huge amount right there. Clothes, there. See. Clothes from there, and we could do booze, but honestly I'd much rather do booze with a different place. And then, chemicals. We do have to bring chemicals. No, we don't have to bring chemicals out here. There's no chemicals that we need besides what this guy needs, and we can bring that to this warehouse. So that's easy enough. Yeah, bring those things and bring them down here. On top of that, we're going to use this as a meat picker-upper to get a couple things in there. And we could say get your food from there as well, but this should be fine. I'm just going to assume that we're going to be almost done with the power that we needed to produce here. So we're just going to see how this works. Get all of those assigned and they can just go. Get us filled up. That feels good. Cool. You're next. Your range is seemingly appropriate. Yeah, that range is very appropriate. I looked at these guys briefly, but the waste that they produce is really not that much. So I don't think that they need their own storage containers, but it may help distribution a little bit if they get something a little more dedicated. So actually adding a couple of these in some key locations does not feel like a bad thing. I'm trying to place this so that this one actually can serve this one and potentially this one all at the same time. Let's see if that kind of works out. Yeah, 95 meters, it definitely covers that one. And then if we just have one left over that doesn't have a special waste truck pickup, then that's not the end of the world. Yeah, 134 is a little much, but this one can cover most of these places, so that all kind of works out if we want to build that down the road. Cool. Distribution office there. That was stopped already. What did I say? I'm just going to do this, set up priorities a little bit, and let them actually complete what they have, and then we're going to be back. Yep, we're also at over an hour, so lots of stuff going on. The city is growing. We are almost ready for some citizens, but not quite yet. I hope in 1942, at the end of winter, I will see you again, and then all of this is going to be done to your satisfaction, and we can actually start our next industry, which should, A, increase our population relatively quickly, and B, get us hopefully a lot more money down the road. And let's make sure that this construction is assigned. Thank you so much for watching. I'm still pretty happy with how everything is working. Surprisingly, nothing catastrophic has happened besides the thing with the earthquake last time. But other than that, honestly, all the things are kind of doing what all the things are doing. So nothing to complain there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Ah.